Yep.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Smack Talk Early Edition. We usually go on Saturdays, but we are going on a little early this week due to personal schedules.
Yep.
I am the coach along with the Lone Wolf,
Here we are again.
are going to recap the Super Bowl. Not spend a ton of time on it because it only matters who really wins, but we'll recap it, see if we were surprised by anything. Then we're going to dive into NFL free agency preview. We will start with the NFC North and the AFC North. If we have time, we may, go off script and get another division done. Just because we want to make sure we get the preview of every division done before uh, March Madness.
Right.
Because once March Madness hits, NFL goes on the back burner for about a month. Just the way it is.
Yep.
So,
Everybody gets in basketball mode. So, yep.
So, obviously, the Chiefs are Super Bowl champions for the first time in 50 years, which we both predicted.
Yes, we did.
I was kind of shocked how the game unfolded.
Yeah.
But the 49ers defensive scheme was spot on for 3 quarters. And like we talked about, if you keep Mahomes in the pocket, make him a pure pocket passer, he's uncomfortable. And for 3 quarters, they did that. And then I don't know what happened.
He became too good. But you know what? It's kind of funny. We talked about this beforehand, and I think that was probably one of our, even though we haven't had that many shows, I think it was one of our best shows because we broke it down. I think a lot of things came to pass that we talked about. The 49ers defensively did make him look more human. He made a couple of mistakes. He had, one interception wasn't totally his fault. It wasn't the best throw. It went off Tyreek Hill's hands. But the other interception that he threw, that's just a bad throw. And that was, probably mostly because of the scheme that the 49ers have been running. They're really disciplined on defense. They made him look a little more human. And then we talked about it. He was like the X factor late in the game. If you need a guy to rely on, who are you going to rely on? Well, he delivered, and then he delivered in a big way. So,
right. So, yeah, and again, I once they got the lead, in my mind, the game was done. I knew Garoppolo was not going to be able to make a play.
Right.
To allow the 49ers to get back in it. He's a good quarterback. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. They may think so, but he hasn't shown me that consistency like a Tom Brady, a Brett Favre, a Patrick Mahomes, where you can put the game all on them.
Yep.
Again, great game manager. Going to get you deep in the playoffs and a lot of wins every year. But I don't think he's going to lead you to multiple championships. Maybe get one.
Yeah.
At some point here. But I'm not sold on him as like a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No.
I'm just not sold on it. So that wraps up the NFL season.
Yep.
On to free agency. And I was looking at this stuff yesterday and today and just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
And it's really, really interesting when you look at the NFC North. I was looking at the cap for the teams in the division. So
what do we got for each one? Yeah.
So it was really shocked me.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the site's called sportrack.com. It is you want statistics on contracts and on salary cap, they got it. Because I'll
And
tell
we're
you
not
what.
paid to say that.
Yeah, we're not, but I mean, holy cow! So you have the Packers coming in ranked 24th in salary cap, and
Okay.
they're estimated to have about right under 21 million available in salary cap space.
Okay.
After that, you have the Bears, who are at about just under 13 million.
Okay.
Where are the Lions?
The Lions have a lot of cap space. I was looking this up earlier. I
The
think they
Lions
have like 50 million.
No, they're estimated to have just under 38. Now,
Oh, okay. All right. I was getting a little high there. Yeah, sorry. Yep.
there's a cap space, but then there's all other stuff calculated there. They have a total of about 45, but there's other like guaranteed contracts, roster
I
bonuses
gotcha.
and stuff.
Okay.
And so the team, this shocked me. I knew they were tight on cap space. I didn't know that they were this bad.
What is it like 300,000?
Oh, the Minnesota Vikings
Yeah.
are over the salary cap by over $12 million.
Oh man, really?
Yes, they are dead last in the league in salary cap space.
Meaning they absolutely have none. They're over the cap.
They have none.
Yeah.
Now they
Wow.
they have some guys that have high cap numbers that look like that are going to be free agents.
Sure.
They have a couple of guys that are have club options that they could save some money. They're going to have to make some major decisions there. They aren't going to be able to add any pieces.
No, not at all.
roster.
I mean, with that kind of lack of cap space.
So we'll break it down here. I figured we start from the top with the Packers, work our way down to the Lions. Same when we go over to the AFC North. So let's start with the Packers. Again, they are looking at roughly, I'll just say 20 million in cap space because you never want to go right up against the cap.
Right. Yeah.
We obviously know they have big time need at receiver.
Yeah.
They need to upgrade their tight end.
Definitely.
I also think they need to upgrade their linebacking core. I was looking at their DNs, and I know they play that 30, kind of that 34 look, but they could use an upgrade there if somebody's available. Now, looking at their roster, Brian Bulaga, he's a free agent.
Yep.
Probably one of the most notable ones. Mason Crosby, who you'd think they'd bring back. I mean, he's been an institution in Green Bay, and he's still a solid kicker in the NFL.
Yeah, he's still good. Yeah. Yep.
Blake Martinez was a tackle machine. Is he a middle linebacker that can lead a defense and be one of those top?
Well,
guys?
I mean, it depends. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, and the Packers have some questions to answer about their defense after getting shellacked by the 49ers. And was that schematic, schematically, the scheme, how they ran things, is that why they weren't doing so well in that game? Is this something that's wrong, like defensive coordinator wise? Is Mike Pettin coming back? Is this going to be the same attack? And does that change how you look at things in free agency as to whether you want to draft somebody, you want to go out and get a free agent?
I don't think you make a D coordinator change. I still think that's a young defense.
It is.
And 3 times you went out to the West Coast, 3 times you got your butt handed to you. I put that on the head coach. You got to get your guys mentally ready to go that far of a trip. They could use an upgrade, I think, in safety. They don't have a guy that's going to get in the line like, Leroy Butler did and, things like that.
Savage could be that guy, though.
He could be, but, how long do you wait to find out? So the one.
Hey man, he's only had 1 year. Let's give him some time here. I mean, I think Adrian Amos was supposed to be that guy, right?
Well, he really helped in the pass coverage area where the Packers were very deficient a year ago.
True.
So you look at the one thing when I was looking at the Packers roster, they have just around 20 million in cap space.
Right.
I'm going to call right now. Jimmy Graham is going to be released. It's going to save us about 10 million in cap space.
Man, what a savings!
You're going to look at now having around probably 27, 28 million, where you could now go and sign, re-sign Balaga. He's going to be, a more of a value guy. He's getting up there in age. He's had multiple injuries. If he wants if he wants a big contract, he's going to be elsewhere. Blake Martinez, the same thing. I think he's a solid. I just don't think he's going to draw a huge number in free agency.
No, and he's not a max guy anyway. Yeah, I mean, you can't pay him. You can't pay him the top dollar. He's good, but he's not that good.
And the Packers did say they were going to be more cautious in free agency this year, which I agree. You can't blow your cap number up.
So I have a wild idea here, Coach.
Okay, throw your wild idea out.
and I think it's a good one. And I mean, this might blow the cap. This might be a little crazy, but this guy is a little bit older. But he'd be an instant upgrade for the Packers, and wow, offensively they'd be a lot better. Now this person's in the AFC North, and I believe they're an unrestricted free agent. What about the Packers going and grabbing AJ Green?
And I'm looking at the free agents available right now. I would think AJ Green is one of your targets there. It's going to depend on how much money he wants. He's 32 years old. I think they should have went out and traded for him before the trade deadline. They might have been able to actually
get him a little bit cheaper. Yeah.
Give the 49ers a little bit more of a fight. Now the other guy that's available, another good receiver, is roughly the same age. Emmanuel Sanders is also a free agent.
Oh, is he? There you go. Yeah. Yep. So let's see. Do we have somebody who wants to call in? Do they just need to hit the red button on the bottom, or what are they gonna do?
We'll get to that. I want to get through some of this stuff first before we take callers.
Okay.
We have a lot to get through, so I just want to get through some of these teams, and then when we're kind of wrapped up, we can take callers if we have time.
I'm good either way. I mean,
we have 7 more teams to get through. So
I know. I'm just saying he's ready to go. He's got something he wants to talk about related to the conversation. So,
but I just don't want to spend too much time on one team. So
right. Yeah, I gotcha.
So obviously, the Packers need to upgrade wide receiver, tight end. They need to upgrade offense, period.
Yeah.
And if they can find somebody better for, on defense, if they can find somebody cheap that's an upgrade, sure. But I don't think right now the defense is really on his mind. I think they're going to draft defensively. So moving to the Vikings, like we already touched base there. The Vikings are in cap
purgatory.
Hell,
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, holy cow! I don't know what you do there. I looked at their roster, and they have so many big contracts out there right now that you're going to see you might see some very quality guys on the open market. So let's see here. Let's see. You have the guy that I'm looking at here, Emerson Griffin. That he has that club option of $13 million. That would get them even. Are you going to release them? I don't know. It's just I don't know if he would if they'd release him. I know he's had off the field issues, so maybe they would say themselves around 13 million. But we'll see. But Xavier Rhodes, I believe, is going to be an unrestricted free agent. He's about 12 million. I'd think they'd try to re-sign him, but I don't know if they can. So they're
well, that and he did not have a great year. Let's just be honest. I mean,
he didn't have a great year, but he's been a solid corner during his career. So it'll be interesting to see what the Vikings do. Obviously, to be honest, they still need a quarterback. I don't trust Kirk Cousins to win you a Super Bowl. He's a stat machine.
I don't think.
I've said it his entire career. He's a stat machine.
Yeah.
But he is not a leader, and that's what you need.
Yeah, and he's not that guy, and I think that everybody can honestly appreciate the fact that that's true. I mean, yes, they went to New Orleans and they won, but I don't really think it was because of or solely due to what he did. I think the Saints laid an egg. We talked about that. And then the way that they ran their offense, they ran it through Dalvin Cook, and they wanted to play tough defense. So they're in a world of hurt. I mean, they finished, as a wild card, made the postseason, but with this cap issue that they have, they can't do anything to bring in a high-priced free agent. I don't know what their draft situation looks like, but I just don't see them really improving themselves over the offseason.
They aren't very deep. I mean, their top 15 guys take up the majority of their cap space. So I if I'm a Viking fan, I am a little worried right now. So let's move to,
and I'm not, but I would be too if I were a Vikings fan. Yeah.
Let's move to the Chicago Bears. I think you look at the Bears. I didn't really look at the Bears too much, to be honest.
Well, I looked at just a couple of things. I think the biggest thing that everybody's going to be talking about over the offseason is Trubisky. What do they do with him? Are they married to him for another year because he has another year on his deal? It's not a lot of money from what I recall. But, for them, do they – I guess really this is the question they have to answer for themselves. Do you go out and you get another quarterback? Yes or no? I mean, or do you keep rolling the dice with Trubisky for this year or what? I don't know.
And I think you hit it right in the head. I think they have the pieces there to be a quality team, be a playoff team.
Right.
But they need a quarterback. I mean, they are looking like the ultimate buffoons for trading up to get Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have stayed home and gotten Patrick Mahomes.
Right. Or Deshaun Watson, one way or the other. I mean,
So I mean, they're looking kind of foolish right now.
Right.
So I think they're going to stick it out with Trubisky, until the end of his contract, and but he won't get a huge new contract.
No,
there's no way.
No.
So
and that being said, I think they've got some issues maybe to address offensively. They could probably use another offensive lineman or another weapon on offense, or just utilizing their the pieces that they have in a better fashion. Because their offense was totally disjointed last year.
Yeah, you have Allen Robinson there. You have Trey Burton, who's a quality tight end. Taylor Gabriel. I mean, really, after Allen Robinson, their receivers are kind of lackluster.
Right. You have Tariq Cohen. You've got some interesting pieces in David Montgomery and some of the other running backs that they have. I mean, they have some possibilities and some talent, but I think they suffered from really bad or inconsistent quarterback play. And then offensive line-wise, they just aren't as solid as they probably could be there. I think they probably could use another offensive lineman.
Right. Well, to be honest, though, what team couldn't use an extra offensive lineman?
Well, yeah. But I mean, really, there were some really good lines in the league, and theirs was just, to me, not one of them. They're average, maybe. So.
But I will tell you this, their defense is good.
Yes.
And as long as they can keep that defense together, I think they'll be okay. Now, I mean, you rarely see this, but Khalil Mack's their biggest cap hit at almost $27 million a year. That's a lot of money for a linebacker.
It really is, yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see. Again, what Chicago does. They do have some money there, to do some stuff, do a few things. They're kind of in that same situation the Packers are in, where they have the money.
They had 13 million, I think you said. So
to play around with, and then they might look at Kyle Fuller as a corner. He's getting kind of long in the tooth, things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they proceed. Finally, the Detroit Lions. I mean, how? At least you're not as bad as the Browns when it comes to front office. I mean, at least they're not as bad as the Matt Millen and
that era, yeah.
But I mean, holy cow! How year after year after year you can continue to mess things up and not put a good team on the field.
Right.
And we talked about the Lions at length, and I'm not a Lions fan. Far from it.
Right.
But you kind of feel for their fans.
Their fans, yeah.
But it's I don't really care what they do in free agency. To be honest, if I am the Lions, I have Matt Stafford, who this year is going to be is 32 years old. He's got 3 seasons remaining on his contract, and it's a very friendly quarterback or contract for a quarterback of his stature. This year, it's $8.3 million because he had a bunch of 21.3. Next year's 33, then 26. So that for a quarterback, that is a very, very cap friendly contract. If I'm the Lions, I'm looking at trading Matt Stafford, and
we talked about that. Yeah.
If I'm him, I'm going and asking for a trade. I want an opportunity to win. His stats have always been there. He needs to win. He needs to prove he can win. And I don't know if you can put that stuff all on him for their struggles. He's
definitely
never had a team around him that can win.
No, I mean, he's suffered so many bad seasons there. I mean, granted, they've had a few sporadic good seasons. They made the playoffs. They lost to the Saints in the wild card round. They did a little bit here and there, but yeah, I agree. I mean, the thing that bugs me about the Lions is this. If I were a Lions fan, this is what would bother me. Okay, you have Matt Patricia back again. He fired a bunch of his assistants, and they didn't put a quality product on the field. And they think, and I've read this in some Detroit newspapers, I was doing some reading on this earlier, they can have a 49ers type turnaround. Well, no, I don't think you can, because I just have no confidence in their ability to go out, like we were just talking about, and like you were just saying, to get good free agents and to draft well. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, do you have any confidence in them to do that? I really don't. And they have all this cap space, but I don't know if they're just going to blow it or what are they going to do with it,
Well, and that's the thing. I haven't trusted the Lions front office.
Yeah.
Since the Barry Sanders days. And even then he couldn't, because they drove Sanders out of the league.
Right. They did. Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Good choice.
I think, you look at, they have Marvin Jones, who's a decent receiver. Kenny Galladay, a decent receiver. Nobody that I think is really a dominant receiver in the league.
No, they had, they had Calvin Johnson in the day, and he suffered even through really horrible seasons with them. But that guy was amazing.
They've been playing Russian roulette with their running back position for years.
Yeah.
And they've tried picking, pieces up from other offensive lines throughout the league, and
Right.
it just
they have the piece, right? I mean, if you keep Stafford and you make him suffer and you keep him there, give him a good offensive line and give him time and keep him healthy. So, you don't have another issue where he's breaking his back or whatever again. I mean, give the guy an offensive line and give him another another weapon. I mean,
I'm looking at their salary cap hits right now. Matt Stafford's number 1 this year at 21.3. Then you have Trey Flowers at 16.7. Darius Slay at 13.3. Ricky Wagner at 11.9. I mean, you're only paying 6 guys over $10 million a year.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not attracting free agents. I'll tell you that.
No, it's tough being in Detroit and having a team that just isn't that good. So
and I feel for Stafford. I really do. The guy's a good quarterback.
He is.
If you put him on a team, even an average team, they're going to be good.
Now, and we talked about this. Getting him in Tampa Bay, we talked about that. Obviously, that's probably not going to materialize, but that would be a cool scenario to get him there. You know,
and I really don't think that would materialize. You look at the rumors out there; it sounds like they're going to be after Phillip Rivers. Which we'll get to when we get to the NFC South.
And or AFC West.
But I'll tell you what. Now, and this is like way out there, but I throw these ideas out there because they just pop in my head. This would be a coup de grace right here. Okay. I don't care what people say. I'm 95% sure Tom Brady is not going to be a New England Patriot next year.
Well, I'm 97% sure.
All the stuff I'm reading, he's going to be an Oakland Raider.
Right.
They can't do anything with it. I think he wants away from Bill Belichick. I don't think he cares if he wins another Super Bowl. He wants to have fun his last couple of years.
Yeah.
What better place to do that than in Las Vegas?
Yeah, right, huh? Yeah.
Right? I mean, we always have fun when we're there.
That's true.
So now you're sitting there, Bill Belichick. I don't have a quarterback.
Right.
Hey, Detroit. What about Matt Stafford? You guys stink. I got draft picks. Or who do you want off my roster?
It is a crazy idea, but what if that actually happened? I don't know. I mean, I know what you're saying. That actually would be kind of fun.
You look at the other moves he's made, though. It wouldn't shock me if he did it.
No, right. He does make some crazy moves. It's true. Yeah.
So I'm just saying that'd be quite the interesting. Now all of a sudden you put New England, maybe not back in the Super Bowl talk, but they're still going to be at the top of the AFC. Up in that top 2 or 3 teams. So, but as for the Lions, I don't know. I mean,
and so what pieces do they need to get better? I mean, you look at it, they really need a defensive lineman that can be disruptive. They don't have a lot of that on their defensive line. They don't have a lot of depth, and I think that's definitely important for them. If you have Matthew Stafford again, you got to protect him. He's your guy, right? I mean, out of anybody else on that team, he's your stalwart. Put a guy up front or two or three that can actually protect him. Because they don't have the best weapons there, but if you have a guy like him, he can make them better. So put some guys there that can keep him upright and alive during the course of the season.
Well, I think what would help him out tremendously, is if they actually found a running game.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I mean, you look at all the great quarterbacks, they have good running games. I mean, you look at Brett Favre,
for the most part, yeah.
They had we always had a running back that was going to get around 1,000 yards.
Right, Edgar Bennett or something. Yeah, yep.
Troy Aikman had Emmitt Smith.
Right.
Tom Brady didn't necessarily have that back, but they had a system where they could eat up yards when needed, and Detroit can't do that. I mean,
no, they don't have that system. Yeah,
they always are drafting these guys. Oh, hey, here we go, and they're hurt or this or that. I don't know. There's something about Detroit where the running backs go there and they get hurt.
Well, I just don't think they find the right guy, and I don't know if that's because they've turned over coaching wise. I mean, you look at this. Okay, the head coach isn't different, but a lot of the coordinators are going to be different. So different scheme, and that makes a huge difference.
If I'm Stafford, I'm calling my agent and be like, "You gotta get me out of here, man.
Yeah, get me the heck out of here.
You gotta get me out of here. Anything.
Right. Yeah.
I'll go play in Cleveland."
Oh my God, I don't know if he wants to do that, but
all right. So that's NFC North. Obviously, it's too early for predictions, but when you look at the state of everybody's salary cap,
right,
I'm looking at Green Bay wins the division again next year because I think they'll get mature another year in the system. They'll add wide receivers. Even if they don't add too much on defense, they'll draft some defensive depth, and I think they'll be okay there. I think Chicago jumps up to number 2.
I agree. Yep.
And Minnesota
slides back
number 3 because they are in such rough shape with their cap. And sorry, Detroit, you're
last again. Yeah.
Just
I mean, really, it boils down to this: until they show us something, that's just where they're going to be.
Right.
Do something with your cap space. Yeah.
So that is the NFC North. It'll be interesting. We'll talk about some free agents that are out there as we go along. We talked about AJ Green, Emmanuel Sanders,
right.
There are some big name free agents out there.
Yep.
That teams could add. I'm looking at it right now. Let's see. Let's go all teams. Like I said, this site is unreal. So obviously you have Drew Brees is free agent. I don't think he goes anywhere. Tom Brady is a free agent. Philip Rivers is a free agent. Von Miller, AJ Green, Jadeveon Clowney, Everson Griffin. He's at. They have him down as a free agent, but it's a club option. So same with Von Miller.
Yeah.
They have club options, so they could pick them up. And make them non-free agents. But like Von Miller, he's 31 and he's going to have a $19 million salary cap hit. I don't think Denver takes that.
No, and I think he's been there for a while, and I think they move on from. I think they move on from that.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he tries to get paid from somebody else, get a big bunch of money or something like that. Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys on. Dante Fowler Jr. I mean. That's going to be when we talk about the NFC West. That's going to be an interesting conversation there because I have some things that might not make some fans of some teams in that division very happy. But
sure,
we'll talk about that later. Let's go over to the NFC or AFC North.
AFC North. Yep.
Obviously, you look at the division champion, Baltimore.
Yep.
let's go look at their salary cap. I think they're in pretty good shape, actually, cap wise.
Yeah, and they have a couple of things that they're looking at, for the offseason. Obviously, they went 14-2. Offensively, they were really good. No question there. I mean, Lamar Jackson was stellar in the regular season. We both kind of talked about this, in the postseason. We weren't quite sure how things were going to turn out. He was just, he woefully underperformed. Not just him, but the rest of the team. But I think that their offense seemed really stymied in the postseason. The biggest thing I think for them is they were talking about Judon. He's somebody that they were thinking about wanting to re-sign, but I don't know what he's going to command in the free agent market. That would be somebody. Their defense, was really good this year. I think they finished top 5 in a lot of the major statistical categories that matter. And so, you look at them, and I don't know. They don't probably need a whole lot of pieces, but for them, I think it's just 1 or 2 pieces that you either keep, or maybe you bring somebody new in and you let a free agent or 2 walk. Keeping that offensive line intact is probably really important for them if they can. I think Yanda was going to retire maybe, and so they might have to draft and or pick up another offensive lineman. But for the most part, they're probably in really good spot.
Yeah, I think they're going to be more of a sign our own type team.
Right, yeah.
Keep our team together, draft depth, and develop that way. They have roughly $26 million in salary cap space, so they're in a decent shape there. So, I don't think there you'll see too many changes with the Ravens from
Probably
this year
not,
to next year. I think they're set up pretty well here for a couple of years until Lamar Jackson needs his contract. And with now winning, multiple league awards and the success he had, if he can even come close to that next year, then he's going to want a big time contract.
No question.
I'm sure they're thinking that, and they're going to try to structure so they have the cap room to sign him, so they don't have to cut a bunch of guys to sign him.
Yeah. Baltimore went down that road already with the Joe Flacco signing. Exactly. So I don't think they want to do that again. They want to make sure they're smart about it. And you want to make sure that you don't waste it on a guy who, yes, they won a Super Bowl, but he was never the greatest regular season quarterback. So
you look at the next team there, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, we know the issues there. Roethlisberger said he's coming back. Do you really trust him? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he'll make it through another season. They obviously, I think, need to find somebody besides to go on the opposite side of Juju. And to be honest, they need to look at running back. They let Bell go, and because they thought they had the next thing, and he didn't really turn out to be that great this year. Now the problem is, they're seeing $8 million over the salary cap.
Yeah.
So they're not in a position to really go out and sign anybody.
Right.
So I think they're gonna kind of try to re-sign their own, restructure some people, maybe go to Roethlisberger and say, hey, we know you want to come back, but we need money if you want to make a run. And he might go and take a reduced salary for him. Don't know if he will, but we'll see. I think, unfortunately, Pittsburgh is heading down a rebuild path they haven't seen since the beginning of the Bill Cowher era.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, even Bill Cowher, when he had a bad year, bounced back the next year.
When they had Bubby Brister as their quarterback.
Bubby Brister, wow.
So unfortunately, Pittsburgh, hopefully it's not a long road for you, but I think you're headed down the way.
It's going to be this year. I think that because a couple things, you already mentioned it. They don't have cap money, so they can't bring in a free agent, or they have to be really tough in making hard decisions on who they bring back for who they have there right now. But they also don't have a lot of draft picks either. So you've got guys, because you brought in Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Dolphins, and their defense is pretty solid, but they got guys like Bud Dupree, who's a free agent. Their defense will probably still be really good next year, but I don't think their offense is going to be very good. And I think Pittsburgh is definitely on the downslide next year. I saw some people like, oh, they're still the second best team in this division. Maybe, but it depends.
I mean, look at the division. Let's be honest. Look at the AFC North is going to be probably one of the worst divisions in football for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be the Ravens and then everybody else. I mean, the Steelers will not be 8-8 next year. They will be worse than 8-8. They can't bring somebody in. They don't have a lot of draft picks, so they just can't really maneuver in that. And I don't think they have a roster that's, like we're just talking about with the Ravens, where they don't need a whole lot. They got a couple of pieces here and there that they can deal. The Steelers need offensively. They need a lot. They just don't have big playmakers. Big Ben, great, but they need a lot more than just maybe him coming back and maybe him. All these maybes don't necessarily equate to a lot of production on the offensive side of the football.
Exactly. And I think the Mike Tomlin's time there is kind of running its course. I think he needs a change. Just watching him on the sideline, you can tell he is not as energetic as he has been in the past. I think he leaves there, he finds a head coach job right away. That I don't think is going to be in question if he wants a job after he'd leave Pittsburgh. I don't think somebody would pass on him.
No.
But I think it says, I think after this year, especially if it's a subpar year, they're going to look at that and be like, all right, we just need to make wholesale changes here and move forward.
Yeah.
So, but now I guess we do have to talk about these two teams.
Definitely.
I know the Browns finished ahead of the Bengals, but I want to talk Bengals first because I think they're going to be easier.
More intriguing too. I think honestly.
The Bengals have $46 million in cap space.
Yep.
But they need everything.
Yeah.
Besides running, I mean, you have Joe Mixon,
right,
who is a quality running back.
Right.
You're going to lose AJ Green. He is not re-signing. In
Cincinnati, no, he's definitely not. He's going to Green Bay, like we talked about.
Well, Aaron Rodgers hopes so. I'll tell you that.
Yes, he does.
But you still have Geno Atkins on your defense. You have Drake or Patrick. You have some quality defensive guys.
Yeah.
But that offense is just in
shambles.
Andy Dalton will be gone.
Yeah.
They need a rebuild.
But this is a rebuild, right? I mean, they knew that coming in. So
you look at it, Burrows is going to be their quarterback. Feel sorry for the guy, but you're going to be the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals. You're going to start as a rookie, and hopefully they don't wreck him. I prefer. You draft a guy, you let him sit for a year or two, because it's very rare they come in and win right away.
Right.
You look at Lamar Jackson. I mean, they used him sparingly in his rookie year.
Right.
He learned.
Right. Yeah, he was able to sit and then kind of learn a little bit. Yeah.
So,
I think that, Burrow, I mean, everybody's been talking about him, and I think he might be one of those guys that could potentially step in and start. It's just, they have Mixon, so what do you do there? I mean, you won't have a lot of stellar wide receivers now. They don't really have a whole lot there. But I don't think if you're in rebuild mode in Cincinnati, which you are, I don't think you want to go out and try to blow some of that stuff unless there's a special guy that you can get as a receiver. You probably want to just keep your offensive line with get another offensive lineman. I know I sound like a broken record when I say that kind of stuff, but Joe Mixon's your guy, right? He's a proven guy.
Right.
Make it easier for him so that you can run your offense around that, and then you're going to start Burrow. Let him get into the mix, and then you go from there. I mean, they probably need a couple linebackers too.
The only thing is, I don't know if their offensive line is really that good. Because if they
get a couple.
If they had a good offensive line, they would not have been as poor as they were.
No.
If you have a good offensive line, a average to slightly below average quarterback can win you a couple of games. So I really think if they want, they should just go to Goodell right now and say, we're taking Burrow unless some team comes and offers us like 4 first-round draft picks.
Yeah,
we're taking
I mean, it's pretty obvious that's what they're going to do. I don't see why you do anything
building
else.
Your offensive line. Unless something happens at the combine or in his workouts, he's going to be the number 1 pick. I'd be shocked. But
now they have some cap space, like you said, though, too. I mean, they could potentially bring in a free agent or two here that could help them out.
They could, but again, you're looking at a really inexperienced head coach. I don't care if he's now got a year under his belt; he's still very inexperienced.
Sure. Yep, definitely.
And then you're bringing in a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
You're going to be at the bottom of the AFC North, probably at least for the next 2 seasons at least.
Well, I think at least next season, let's see what pieces they bring in, and then maybe they make a jump that next year, depending on how things turn out.
You're more optimistic than me because, like I said, I am very skeptical of young head coaches. Being one at the high school level myself and remembering all the dumb decisions I made, thought they were great decisions. They were dumb. I have a hard time really trusting a young head coach really to develop a football culture. That's what you're
worried about. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see because you got to remember too, another year or so, Mixon's going to want a contract.
Sure. Yeah.
So
I guess I look at it this way. Like if I have to say, I feel optimistic about a team or I don't, we talked about a bunch of teams. I'm not optimistic about the Lions. I'm not optimistic about the Steelers. I am optimistic about the Bengals. I think there are some things there that you can look at and say, obviously they're 1-15, so the sky's the limit, or 2-14, or whatever they were. The sky's the limit. Obviously, they can get a lot better, but I think there's reason for some more optimism as a fan there than there is about those other teams that I just mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, I would disagree. If just because of the quarterback situation, I would put Detroit ahead of Cincinnati just because of the quarterback.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Stafford alone is going to get you 3 to 4 wins.
Sure. Yeah.
Cincinnati doesn't have a guy like that.
No, they don't. Yeah.
So there's other things again in Detroit at work there. They just can't get front office straight, and then they can't get a head coach that knows what the heck they're doing. So
yeah.
So that brings us probably to one of the most disappointing teams in recent memory.
Franchises.
Not just this year.
Yeah.
I mean, there was such buildup and hype around the Cleveland Browns this year that they had a spot picked out for the Lombardi Trophy. I mean, and I told everybody, I said, let them win a couple of games. Let them make the playoffs. Oh, no, they're easy in the playoffs, blah, blah. Oh, holy cow. That kind of
Easily
egg on
not.
their face. You know, again, they have about $40 million in cap space. So they're sitting really nice with the cap. My biggest question is, and this is, again, it's going to be interesting because you got yet another head coach. I mean, what are they doing? I mean, the Browns front office is almost more incompetent than the Detroit Lions front office.
I would say that, it probably is. You look at it and it's like this franchise has been so bad for so long, and you really have to wonder. I mean, it's hard to have any faith in them, in where they go. It's like they can have cap space and, they have some talent on their roster, but again, I mean, they haven't proven anything, man. The Browns, to me, it's like, the expectations were high because they put all these pieces out there, all this talent, but they're the classic case of a bunch of talent that doesn't play well together as a team.
Right. I'm just looking at their head coaches since they were brought back into the league.
Yep.
Holy cow. So
how many coaches have they had?
They've been back in the league for about 20 years. They've had 12 head coaches.
Wow. Yeah, there's absolutely no consistency at all there. And
you look at some of these.
Yeah.
Chris Palmer brought the team back, and he actually had a decent, win-loss record. Oh, no, he didn't.
Right. Oh.
But then you go Butch Davis.
Right.
Then you had Terry Robisky. Romeo Crennel.
Yep.
Eric Mangini. Whatever happened to him? He was supposed
I know, right?
Bill Belichick.
Yeah, that did not occur.
Pat Shurmur. Rob
Chudzinski.
Yeah. Mike Patton. Hugh Jackson. Greg Williams. Freddie Kitchens. And then Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah.
You look at all these though. Of these 12 guys, you only have 2 guys that were like defensive minded guys.
Right. The
rest are offensive minded guys, which kind of blows me away. It's funny because all these names have little asterisks next to them, and I'm not going to go try to figure out what they are. But 12 head coaches.
Yeah.
20 seasons.
Yeah.
Nobody has coached the Cleveland Browns for more than the most is Romeo Crennel from 2005 through 2008, 64 games.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's awful. Yeah, it's awful. I think honestly, you look at it and we could talk about what pieces they need and where they're going to go in the draft or what they're going to do with their cap space, but if they don't stick with a regime and they don't stick with a front office, then it really doesn't matter, because I mean they made some big splashes last year, right? They brought in Olivier Vernon. They had Odell. It's like they made a lot of moves, to put themselves in a position to be, have some pieces on both sides of the football. But they had a very undisciplined team. The whole Garrett incident definitely shows that. I think that's, I know it's only one incident, but that's a pretty major one considering that's never happened in the NFL. And then just a lot of penalties and just, the team was disjointed. They made too many. They had too many turnovers. They have to change the culture there. That's the biggest problem.
And that's the thing. And that's why I don't know why you went with a rookie head coach.
Yeah, I know.
You have such a young team with such egos. You need somebody like a Bill Cowher or a Bill Belichick type personality to go in there and be like, sit down, shut up, do what you're told. You don't like it, I don't care who you are, there's the door.
Yeah. Do you think that like a Ron Rivera would have been a better choice there, maybe?
No, I don't have really a lot of faith in Ron Rivera. I think he was great when he was first with the Panthers, but that was they had a really good defense. I think he's a better D coordinator than he ever was a head coach.
I mean, maybe it's been a better choice than Stefanski, though, right? I mean,
they did it backwards. They hired the head coach, then they hired the GM.
Yeah, I know.
Which is the norm these days.
Yeah.
Because they're hiring a GM and be like, hey, you got to work with this is the guy you got to work with. Which, in my mind, doesn't make any sense. But that's kind of the way the league is now.
Yeah, it kind of is, yeah.
It is really, really just, you look around the league, you look at teams, and the ones that have that guy that basically can get a group of guys and say, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you're about. This team comes first, winning comes first. If you're not about that, get out.
Yeah.
And everybody says, Andy Reid's is nice. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, we've heard the stories. He was in Green Bay for how many years?
Yeah, yeah.
They were not behind closed doors. They were not oh, come on, everybody. It was it's our way or get out. And I'm sure that's what he is when he's in that meeting room. Sit down, shut up. We got work to do.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you could see that the players really loved Andy Reid when he won the Super Bowl and everything, but I think more so they respected him because he gets in there, he gets the job done. Yeah, he's a tyrant behind closed doors for sure. He is. He better be. He's got to keep control of that team, and that's where, like the Browns. I mean, it's clear to me Freddie Kitchens was either in over his head or he just did not have control of that team like a coach should have.
Right. Well, that was a bad hire there too.
Yeah.
And
you got a lot of fiery personalities in that Browns locker room.
The guy that could have whipped this team into shape?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Because I know it's your guy.
Coach Saleh. I'm waiting for him to be a head coach because whoever he coaches, I am going to be a fan of that. There. He has a fiery personality that'll get guys that want to battle for each other.
Yeah.
And right now, Cleveland doesn't have that. They're all about themselves.
Yeah.
So like you said, they really don't have. I'm looking at their free agents. I mean, their biggest free agent that they have that they might need to look at re-signing is Greg Robinson, the left tackle.
Okay.
I mean, but that's not measly, but for the NFL, it's $6.4 million that he had made last year. So out of what they have available,
right,
they have the funds. There's some other guys that are restricted free agents, but they don't have a lot. You have like Kareem Hunt, who knows what he just.
Who knows what's going to happen there? Yeah,
with him, Drew Stanton, backup quarterback, Demarius Randall, you can get rid of him.
He's not that good. We
know that. Some lower level guys, so they're in decent shape cap wise. They have their core under contract.
Right. I mean, if this were anybody else but the Browns, if you took the name away and you put these numbers on a sheet, you'd say, man, this team is sitting pretty for next year. They should be able to do well. They should be able to bring in a couple of good free agents, blah, blah, blah. And then you put the name of the Browns on there and you're like, oh, well, probably not.
Right. And I just read an article today and watched some news clips that I don't remember who it was. They said the Cleveland Browns need to draft a quarterback in the first round.
Wow.
It,
Okay.
and I'm on record saying this. I think Baker Mayfield is Johnny Manziel 2.0, just a little bit more talented. I
I don't
don't
think he's
think
quite that bad, but yeah, I agree with you. He's not the franchise guy.
he's not a franchise quarterback. So
Yeah.
so we'll see what happens with the Browns. They always seem to make it interesting. It's almost like they're using a Ouija board to make decisions down there. So
That's true.
so when you look at the division overall, we got to wrap things up here. We're just going
Sure.
just over an hour.
I would say it's, far and away the Ravens division
Ravens.
to win. Yeah. There's no question.
I am gonna go out and say it. I think Cleveland will be second by default because I think Pittsburgh's taking a big step back.
I couldn't agree more. I think Pittsburgh is going to take a nosedive. That's what I was talking about earlier. I just feel like this team is going to go from 8 wins to 4 wins. Cleveland can probably still pull off maybe 6 to 8 wins just off of sheer luck, talent, dumb fortune, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but yeah, I think they're second. I agree.
And then of course the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes.
Bring up the rear.
Yeah.
Next year. So that wraps up the North divisions in the NFL. Next week we'll be talking about 2 more divisions, maybe sprinkle some other stuff in there. But again, we're going to power through the division previews of NFL free agency. It's kind of the situation each team is in before we get to March Madness. And have some fun and see if we can maybe do a Smack Talk March Madness pool.
That'd be kind of interesting. Yeah.
So, I want to thank everybody for popped in. I know we had the one caller who really wanted to come on, but again, I don't want to spend too much time on one team.
Well, sure. I think though we throw that in there next time we have that. If he calls back in, we get them on. Let them get in there.
We'll get there. And again, because we only have so much time available on the Podbean side, because since we do not have any sponsors to pay for more storage space,
right? Yeah,
we have to be careful how long we go.
Sure.
Again, thank you everybody. Have a wonderful week.
Everybody.
We will see you next week. Date and time to be determined. Probably around 9 o'clock. Seems that we usually come around 9 o'clock. The day depends on our personal lives and schedules, and but we'll put that out there on Podbean as soon as we know.
Sounds good.
You can contact us through social media: Twitter, Facebook, email, whatever you want.
These are on YouTube.
Any of the social media sites you can probably find us on now. So have a great night. We'll talk to you later, Lone Wolf.
Sounds good, Coach.
We will get going for next week. Good night, everybody.
Perfect.